Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we have a special lesson for all of you who are looking for a new apartment or house.
Or even if you're not looking for an apartment, this lesson will be useful because it can help you describe what your current apartment or house looks like.
That's right. So we're going to be describing an apartment and other vocabulary related to apartment hunting. Why don't we take a look at some of the first words that we have in Vocabulary Preview?
Vocabulary Preview.
We're going to hear these two words in the dialogue. The first one is landlord.
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 All right. So who is a landlord, or what is a landlord?
Well, it's pretty simple. A landlord is the person who owns the house.
Okay.
Or apartment.
So the owner of the house.
Right. And a landlord rents out the apartment to the tenants.
Okay. Very good. Tenants.
Tenants.
So the tenants are the people that are renting the apartment or house.
Exactly.
Two important words that we'll find in the dialogue, tenants and landlord.
So why don't we take a listen to the dialogue now, and we'll hear as a couple is checking out a new apartment.
Hi, we are the Christiansens. We're here to see the apartment.
Oh, hi. Sure. Come on in. Well, as you can see, the place has just been renovated. The previous tenants left a huge mess here, so the landlord has redone everything.
It looks great. It's so bright and airy. What great light. I really love these hardwood floors. What's the square footage of this place?
Well, it's about 120 square meters, or 1,300 square feet, more or less. The landlord has also installed new kitchen appliances. There's a new dishwasher and a professional-grade gas range. Really, at this price, this place is an amazing deal.
I love it. But wait, what are the payment terms?
First and last month rent as deposit, and rent is due on the first of every month. Considering the amount of money invested into the apartment, it's a very good deal.
Yes, it is. Too good to be true.
The living room and dining room are quite spacious, as you can see. And down this hall, here's the master bedroom. It has a huge walk-in closet and an ensuite bathroom. We can't go in there yet as the the cleanup crew hasn't finished yet.
What do you mean? What's in here?
All right. So apparently the apartment was too good to be true.
Yeah, I don't think that's exactly what they were expecting to find in the bathroom.
Exactly. Well, we did find a lot of great words and phrases, so why don't we take a look at that now in Language Takeaway?
Language Takeaway.
We're just going to look at a bunch of vocabulary items related to apartments and house hunting. So we've got a lot to cover here, so let's get started with the first one. Renovated.
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 All right, so the apartment was newly renovated.
Okay, so the verb to renovate. Great word, and I think some examples will help us understand the meaning.
Example 1.
I had to renovate my kitchen because I accidentally burned everything while cooking.
Example 2.
The city recently renovated the ceiling of the local church.
Example 3.
John is planning on renovating his nightclub so as to make it more modern.
Okay, so basically to renovate means to make new again.
Right. When you renovate a house or an apartment, you take everything down and build it back up again.
Okay, so it's usually only used for buildings, for apartments, for houses.
Or offices.
You don't say you renovate your computer.
Yep. And also, when you just do something really simple, like change the paint color, that's not a renovation.
Okay.
That's redecoration. When you renovate, you have to use a hammer and saw and lots of tools.
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So the apartment was newly renovated and it was bright and airy.
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 All right, so airy, well, I guess we understand the word air,
Yeah.
right? So if an apartment or something is airy,
It has lots of space, lots of place to move around.
okay, so it's wide, it's
open.
open. Okay,
yeah.
An open apartment. Very good. Now for our next word, an important question. She asked for the square footage.
Square footage.
The square footage of the apartment.
Okay, so we know square foot, right? So feet like a measure of space.
Right?
The square footage is just basically the area, how big.
Okay. So why don't we listen to some examples of how we can use these two words, square footage, in a sentence.
Example 1.
As a civil engineer, I have to calculate the square footage of the construction site.
Example 2.
Robert is worried that the square footage of this land is not big enough.
Example 3.
If you multiply the width of the room by the length, you will have the square footage of the room.
Those are some great examples, and I find this, the ending of this word, footage, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess you can only use it with the imperial system,
So you can also say tonnage,
right?
so how big, how heavy, or mileage.
Mileage, right? But you can't say, for example, in meters, you wouldn't say meterage,
No, you can't say that.
right?
Yep.
So it's not for the metric system, it's only for some units of measurement in the imperial system.
Exactly.
All right, so after we've measured the square footage of the apartment, we saw that they had new appliances.
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 Appliance.
So kitchen appliances, what are those?
Machines that do stuff in the kitchen.
All right, so a blender, a stove, a microwave.
Yep.
Or I can say electric appliances.
So like your TV, an iron, a vacuum cleaner
Okay, so appliance can be any type of machine that's used
in a house.
in a house.
Yeah.
And, well, one of these appliances was a professional grade gas range.
Okay, this is a great phrase and I want to break it down. So a gas range. Now this is basically a stove, right?
Okay,
That uses gas instead of electricity.
so I can have an electric range.
Exactly. Now, professional grade. This is something that's really high quality
So if it's high quality, why do we say it's professional grade?
because it's so good that professionals use it.
Okay, so can I only have professional grade kitchen appliances?
No, of course not. You can have a professional grade anything, like a professional grade carpet, for example.
Okay, or a professional grade pickup truck.
Or you can even change this a little bit and say industrial grade.
So after we've seen all the appliances, they describe the house as spacious.
Spacious.
The house is very spacious,
Pretty easy. We know the word space here, right?
right?
So obviously this means lots of space.
It has lots of space.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe spacious and airy are a little bit similar, right? Okay. And of course, once we were in the master bedroom, we saw that they had a walk-in closet.
a walk-in closet.
Walk-in closet.
A walk-in closet.
Right, so this is very easy. I guess walk in,
You can walk into it.
right? And so it's a huge closet, right?
Yeah. Now, just a note on the spelling here. Walk in are hyphenated.
Okay, walk-in closet. Very good. And apart from this beautiful closet, we had an ensuite bathroom.
Ensuite bathroom.
Ensuite bathroom,
Sorry, another note on the spelling here. It's E-N
right?
hyphen S-U-I-T-E.
So even though it's E-N, we pronounce it like an O-N.
Yep.
Ensuite.
So an ensuite bathroom is a bathroom inside the room.
Okay, inside the master bedroom. Very good. Ensuite bathroom. So a lot of great words describing the apartment and also other aspects of real estate.
So why don't we listen to these one more time in context, and we'll see how they fit together to describe an apartment.
Hi, we are the Christiansens. We're here to see the apartment.
Oh, hi. Sure. Come on in. Well, as you can see, the place has just been renovated. The previous tenants left a huge mess here, so the landlord has redone everything.
It looks great. It's so bright and airy. What great light. I really love these hardwood floors. What's the square footage of this place?
Well, it's about 120 square meters, or 1,300 square feet, more or less. The landlord has also installed new kitchen appliances. There's a new dishwasher and a professional-grade gas range. Really, at this price, this place is an amazing deal.
I love it. But wait, what are the payment terms?
First and last month rent as deposit, and rent is due on the first of every month. Considering the amount of money invested into the apartment, it's a very good deal.
Yes, it is. Too good to be true.
The living room and dining room are quite spacious, as you can see. And down this hall, here's the master bedroom. It has a huge walk-in closet and an ensuite bathroom. We can't go in there yet as the the cleanup crew hasn't finished yet.
What do you mean? What's in here?
All right, so this is always kind of difficult to look for a new apartment and to go and see them. But it's interesting here, they were renting and they had a real estate agent.
Yeah, and actually this is very uncommon in America, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess you don't really use a real estate agent unless you're going to buy a house or apartment.
Mm-hmm. So when you're renting, you just go and look by yourself.
Right, you can find ads in the newspaper, on the internet, and deal directly with the landlord.
Right. So after you've done your house hunting and found your apartment, you got to set up the payment conditions.
Right, like we saw in the dialogue, the payment terms were first and last month's rent as deposit. Mm-hmm. So that's basically they'll keep that just in case you damage something in the apartment.
Or have a monster living in your bathroom.
Exactly. And another thing is that I've noticed in some countries you pay rent in advance.
Right, so in America, you only pay 1 month's rent at a time, right?
Right. So I guess this is an interesting topic. Real estate and apartment hunting and renting is different in different countries. So that's where you guys need to come and tell us how does this work in your country?
You can also use some of the vocabulary in this dialogue to tell us about your apartment.
Right. How many rooms do you have? Bedrooms, dining rooms?
What's the square footage?
Exactly. Or how many square meters, right?
Yep. So check out our website, englishpod.com.
All right, and we'll see you guys there.
Thanks for listening, and until next time, goodbye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Please come in.
Come on in.
The person that rents a house.
Tenant.
Disorder, unorganized.
Mess.
The owner of the apartment.
Landlord.
Spacious so that air moves freely.
Airy.
Showing how big one's space is measured in feet.
Square footage.
Electric equipment found in a house.
Appliance.
Good enough to satisfy professional use.
Professional grade.
A stove that uses gas to cook.
Gas range.
Large, having lots of space.
Spacious.
A room contained in a bedroom for storing clothes.
Walk-in closet.
A bathroom within the main bedroom.
Ensuite bathroom.
A room or space that is just below the roof of a building and that is often used to store things.
Attic.
The part of a building that is entirely or partly below the ground.
Basement.
An area of ground, such as the ground around a house or in a garden or park, that is covered with short grass.
Lawn.
The business of selling land and buildings.
Real estate.
To allow someone to use something for a period of time in return for payment.
Lease.
Let's try that faster. Disorder, unorganized.
Mess.
The person that rents a house.
Tenant.
To allow someone to use something for a period of time in return for payment.
Lease.
A room or space that is just below the roof of a building and that is often used to store things.
Attic.
Spacious so that air moves freely.
Airy.
An area of ground, such as the ground around a house or in a garden or park, that is covered with short grass.
Lawn.
The owner of the apartment.
Landlord.
The business of selling land and buildings.
Real estate.
The part of a building that is entirely or partly below the ground.
Basement.
Please come in.
Come on in.
A stove that uses gas to cook.
Gas range.
Electric equipment found in a house.
Appliance.
Good enough to satisfy professional use.
Professional grade.
A room contained in a bedroom for storing clothes.
Walk-in closet.
Large, having lots of space.
Spacious.
Showing how big one's space is measured in feet.
Square footage.
A bathroom within the main bedroom.
Ensuite bathroom.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
I had to renovate my kitchen because I accidentally burned everything while cooking. The city recently renovated the local church. John is planning on renovating his nightclub so as to make it more modern.
Airy.
I'm glad we took out all the extra furniture. Now this room is a lot more airy.
Airy.
The living room looks great. That big window really makes it feel more airy.
Airy.
Our office has a high ceiling and big windows, so it feels really open and airy.
Square footage.
As a civil engineer, I have to calculate the square footage of the construction site.
Square footage.
Robert is worried that the square footage of the house wasn't big enough for his family.
Square footage.
What's the square footage of the living room?
Appliance.
In this store, you can buy any type of kitchen appliance, such as a toaster, a blender, etc.
Appliance.
All of our electrical appliances were damaged by the thunderstorm.
Appliance.
My cousin is selling all her household appliances because she is moving to China. This job offer is amazing. It's almost too good to be true. I can't believe you got this car for free. I think it sounds too good to be true. I found the perfect boyfriend. He cooks, cleans, and treats me well. It's almost too good to be true.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to another great lesson here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we are going to have a lesson that is going to be very useful when you arrive late.
Yes, well, we all have arrived late to something, and we need a good way of saying sorry and saying why we were late.
So today we're not only going to be looking at vocabulary used to explain why you are late, but also some typical excuses of why people are late.
Right, so some normal reasons for saying why you're late. Well, why don't we get started with the dialogue? Now, we're going to hear 5 people in the dialogue. So at the beginning, we'll hear the boss and the assistant, and then we'll hear 3 people who are arriving late.
Where's everyone? We were supposed to start 15 minutes ago.
Jo called and said she'd be here in a sec. She said she got tied up with a client.
Sorry I'm late, everyone. Oh, there was a huge traffic jam on the highway this morning.
Morning, everyone. Were you stuck in traffic as well, Jess? There was a huge pileup on the highway, and traffic was backed up for miles.
Scott just called and said that he's running late. His last meeting ran over, but he's on his way now.
Guys, this is not acceptable. If I say the meeting starts at 10, the meeting starts at 10, not 10:01, and definitely not 10:20. All right, let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is
I'm really sorry, everyone. I know I'm late, but really, it's not my fault. I was getting a coffee at Starbucks, and the line was way, way too long. I was waiting for 20 minutes to get my coffee.
All right, so, well, good excuses in general, except the last one. I don't think that's such a good excuse of why you're late, right?
Yeah, I don't really think if I was the boss, I would be very happy with this employee.
Yeah, I don't think coffee is that important.
But some of the excuses were good, and some of the language they used to describe the excuses was really great. So let's look at that now in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, on language takeaway today, we have 4 words that we're going to be looking at. And well, let's get started with the first one. So Jo called the office assistant and explained that she will be late because she got tied up with a client.
To get tied up.
So I got tied up with a client.
All right, this is a really common reason for being late, but why don't we listen to some examples to help us understand what it means?
Example 1.
Sorry I'm late, honey. I got tied up at the office.
Example 2.
I was tied up on the phone all afternoon and didn't get any work done.
Example 3.
I got tied up in traffic on the way here.
All right, so if you get tied up, it means that you get busy with something that you can't avoid.
Right, you're busy with something that's so important, it's like you are tied by a rope to that thing.
Okay, I got tied up. I'm sorry, I got tied up.
Yep.
All right, now, the first person that arrived to the office, well, explained that there was a huge traffic jam on the highway.
A traffic jam.
A traffic jam.
A huge traffic jam.
Now, we understand traffic, right? Mm-hmm. Cars, a lot of cars.
Yep.
So a jam, it means that it was like blocked.
It was stopped.
It was stopped.
Yep.
There were a lot of cars on the highway and they weren't moving.
So a huge traffic jam is a very, very big stopping of cars.
Now, our next word explains why sometimes there is a traffic jam.
Well, we found out that there was a huge pileup.
A pileup?
A huge pileup.
Okay, a huge pileup. Now, if a pileup is another way of saying an accident, right?
Yeah, an accident with many cars and they all get piled on top of each other.
All right, so many cars got into an accident.
Yep.
So this could be a reason of why there was a traffic jam.
Mm-hmm. And also a reason for why you were late.
Right. Now, the other person, Scott, also called and he said that he's running late.
He's running late.
He's running late.
I'm running late.
Now, if I'm running late, am I actually running somewhere? What am I doing? What's happening?
You are going to be late, and you know you're going to be late.
Okay, I know I'm going to be late. So I'll call you and I'll say, hey, I'm running a little bit late.
Yeah, actually, this is the most common thing I say when I'm going to be late. And I think it's really important to know how to use this phrase. So let's hear some more examples.
Example 1.
Jane is running late. She'll be here in 10 minutes.
Example 2.
Traffic is really bad, so I'm running late.
Example 3.
I'm running a bit late, so please start without me.
All right, perfect. So running late, a very common way of explaining that you're going to be late, and well, it makes you sound very native.
Yeah, it's a great phrase. Now, our last phrase, what we heard, the reason why Scott was running late was because his last meeting ran over.
Okay, to run over.
My meeting ran over.
Now, ran over, my meeting ran over, it means it went too far?
Well, when something runs over, it goes longer.
Okay, longer than expected.
Yeah, so a meeting can run over, or an appointment can run over.
So I can say, my meeting ran over 15 minutes. I'm going to be a little bit late.
That's right. A great excuse.
Very good. 5 great words, and well, I think it's time for us to listen to this dialogue and understand these words as they were used in the dialogue, and then we'll come back and take a look at more phrases.
Where is everyone? We were supposed to start 15 minutes ago.
Jo called and said she'd be here in a sec. She said she got tied up with a client.
Sorry I'm late, everyone. There was a huge traffic jam on the highway this morning.
Morning, everyone. Were you stuck in traffic as well, Jess? There was a huge pileup on the highway, and traffic was backed up for miles.
Scott just called and said that he's running late. His last meeting ran over, but he's on his way now.
Guys, this is not acceptable. If I say the meeting starts at 10, the meeting starts at 10, not 10:01, and definitely not 10:20. All right, let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is our...
I'm really sorry, everyone. I know I'm late, but really it's not my fault. I was getting a coffee at Starbucks, and the line was way too long. I was waiting for 20 minutes to get my coffee.
Okay, we got some more great phrases for describing being late. Let's look at them now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
When Jo called, she said she'd be there in a sec.
I'll be here in a sec.
I'll be here in a sec.
So when someone will be here in a sec, it means they'll be here very soon, right?
Okay, I'll be here in a sec. I'll be there in a sec.
But what about this word sec?
It's a short way of saying second.
So S-E-C.
A sec. Now, it's an exaggeration, obviously, because you won't be there in 1 second, but you're just explaining that you'll be there very, very soon.
What about the difference between I'll be here in a sec and I'll be here in a minute?
Well, if you say I'll be there in a sec, it means like I'll be there in 1 minute, right? But if you say, oh, I'll be there in a minute, it could be a minute or more like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Now, again, going back to this traffic issue, we saw that somebody was stuck in traffic.
To be stuck in traffic.
I got stuck in traffic.
Now, when you're stuck in traffic, you can't drive because there are too many cars stopped on the highway.
So you are actually in the traffic jam.
Yeah, you're stopped there for like 20 minutes. You can't move.
Okay, I'm stuck in traffic. I'm going to be late.
Really great excuse. And the reason they were stuck in traffic was because traffic was backed up for miles.
Okay, traffic is backed up for miles.
To be backed up for miles.
Now, if I say the traffic is backed up for miles, it means that it's very long, or how does that work?
Well, okay, imagine there is an accident and that has caused a traffic jam and the cars are lined up for many miles behind you.
Okay, so it's backed up. From that point, there are many miles of cars waiting to pass.
Yep. So it's backed up for miles.
Very good. So great phrases. And I think it's appropriate for us to listen to the dialogue for the very last time. And then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about this being on time issue.
Where's everyone? We were supposed to start 15 minutes ago.
Jo called and said she'd be here in a sec. She said she got tied up with a client.
Sorry I'm late, everyone. Oh, there was a huge traffic jam on the highway this morning.
Morning, everyone. Were you stuck in traffic as well, Jess? There was a huge pileup on the highway, and traffic was backed up for miles.
Scott just called and said that he's running late. His last meeting ran over, but he's on his way now.
Guys, this is not acceptable. If I say the meeting starts at 10, the meeting starts at 10, not 10:01, and definitely not 10:20. All right, let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is
I'm really
our...
sorry, everyone. I know I'm late, but really, it's not my fault. I was getting a coffee at Starbucks, and the line was way too long. I was waiting for 20 minutes to get my coffee.
Well, Marco, I know that ideas about time and ideas about being late are different in different countries.
Yeah, in different countries, people treat time or being on time in different ways.
Yeah, like I'm from Canada, and I look at being on time really different than you do, right?
Yes, because for example, if you call for a meeting at 9 o'clock,
Yep.
usually people will be there at 9 o'clock because the meeting will start.
In America.
Right, in America. Now, for example, in Latin America, we do have this, what we call sometimes the Latino time or Hispanic time, which is like 9 o'clock is like the time that everyone should be there, but until people get there, get their coffee and whatever, then it'll be 9:15, maybe up to 9:30.
And I think it's a little bit even more noticeable when we're talking about social events. Like if you go to someone's house for dinner, in Canada, if they say, come to my house at 6 o'clock for dinner, you'll be there at 6:05, right?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, usually you'll be there only a couple of minutes after the time that was specified, just to, give the house owner a little bit of time.
Yep.
But if we have a dinner invitation for 6, we know that it's not really going to begin eating at 6, so people will get there at 6:30 or 7. And of course, food isn't ready until like maybe 8 or 9.
But in German countries, from what I know, you've got to be there. If they say be there at 6, you're there at 6:00, right? Not 6:01.
And also, I think it's about when people start work, right?
Yeah.
How on time you have to begin work. Sometimes it's acceptable to be 10 or 15 minutes so-called late, but in other places,
Yeah, North America, if you're supposed to start work at 9, you have to be at your desk working at 9.
At 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, see that in other countries, people get there at 9, get their coffee, maybe take a quick glance at their emails or the newspaper, and then, start working at around 9:30 or 10.
So I guess the important thing is to know what the tradition is in the country where you are.
Exactly. So come to our website, englishpod.com, and let us know how it works in your countries. I know that many different countries have a different way of treating time, so share it with us.
Yes, and remember, if you have any questions, please ask them at the website as well. We're out of time today, but until next time, thanks for listening and goodbye.
Bye-bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. The quality of always being on time.
Punctual.
Blocked so you can't move forward.
Backed up.
Later than planned. Late.
Behind schedule.
Sleep later than planned.
Sleep.
Become busy. Unable to leave.
Got tied up.
The quality of often being late.
Tardiness.
Move very quickly.
Hustle.
Going to be late.
Running late.
To go beyond a limit.
Ran over.
So make cars on the road that you cannot drive or move forward.
Stuck in traffic.
Soon.
In a sec.
Very big.
Huge.
A lot of cars stopped from moving.
Traffic jam.
An accident where many cars crash into each other.
Pile up.
Let's try that faster. Going to be late.
Running late.
Soon.
In a sec.
Move very quickly.
Hustle.
Sleep later than planned.
Sleep.
To go beyond a limit.
Ran over.
Become busy, unable to leave.
Got tied up.
The quality of often being late.
Tardiness.
An accident where many cars crash into each other.
Pile up.
Blocked so you can't move forward.
Backed up.
The quality of always being on time.
Punctual.
Later than planned, late.
Behind schedule.
A lot of cars stopped from moving.
Traffic jam.
Very big.
Huge.
So many cars on the road that you cannot drive or move forward.
Stuck in traffic.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Stuck in traffic. Hello, Daniel. It's me. Listen, I'm going to be late today because I'm stuck in traffic. Stuck in traffic. We should leave early this morning or else we'll get stuck in traffic. Stuck in traffic. We should have taken the other highway. Now we'll be stuck in traffic for at least an hour. Ran over. The meeting ran over by more than 30 minutes. Ran over. I always leave an extra 15 minutes in my schedule, just in case meetings run over a bit. Ran over. Frank always forgets about the time and runs over the time limit of his presentations. Running late. Jane is running late. She'll be here in 10 minutes. Running late. Traffic is really bad, so I'm running late. Running late. I'm running a bit late, so please start without me. Got tied up. Sorry I'm late, honey. I got tied up at the office. Got tied up. I was tied up on the phone all afternoon and didn't get any work done. Got tied up. I got tied up in traffic on the way here. The accident backed up traffic for miles. Don't take the 405 freeway today. There was an accident, so there are cars backed up for miles. Our highway system is very inefficient. Traffic is backed up for miles every morning.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're going to be bringing you the second part of our job interview series.
That's right. So this is an advanced lesson, and we're going to be talking about educational background and experience.
Right. So in the first part, we saw preparing for a job interview. Now we are at the job interview, and we're just going to be talking about your educational background and your job experience.
That's right. And the language we're going to learn is going to focus mostly on these two areas.
Okay, perfect. So let's take a look at some of the difficult words before we listen to the dialogue in Vocabulary Preview.
Vocabulary Preview.
All right, so we're going to talk about a few common words that have to do with education. Now, the first word, I think we might know this one, but there's a little trick to it. So the first one is major.
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 So, yeah, I guess everyone knows what a major is, right?
Yeah, it's the main subject that you study in university.
Right, so you can study business as a major or...
history.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but you can also use it as a verb, right?
That's right. I majored in history.
Majored in.
Mm-hmm.
So usually it's followed by the preposition in.
Yes, always, in fact.
Okay.
When used as a verb, I majored in science.
I majored in business.
Yes.
Okay, so you can say my major is business administration or history, or you can say, I majored in business.
Yeah, and the same pattern applies to minor.
Okay, so minor, this is really interesting because this is more common in English-speaking countries, right?
That's right.
So what exactly is a minor?
Well, just like your major, but smaller.
Okay.
So if you major in history, maybe 60% of your classes are in history, and you minor in French, maybe 30 or 40% of your classes are in French.
So basically, you can have two subjects in your degree. You can have a major in business with a minor in art.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
All right, and another two simple words, a bachelor's degree.
Bachelor's degree, okay.
A bachelor's degree is what you get after going to university for 4 years.
Okay, so a bachelor's degree, after 4 years, you get that.
Yep.
After that, you get a master's degree.
Right. So that's another 2 years after your bachelor's degree.
Okay, and I guess a master's is more focused on an area, right?
Yes, more specialized.
More specialized. And then the highest degree you can get is a PhD.
Exactly.
Which is a philosophy doctorate, right? But you're not actually getting a degree in philosophy.
No, it could be in international relations.
Okay. But this is really hard to get. You have to go to school for another 5 or 6 years, right?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of research, and not many people have it.
Yeah. Anyway, some simple words, but you know what? It's quite unique to the English-speaking world, this system, so we thought we'd bring it to you now.
Right, perfect. So now let's listen to this guy who is at an interview, and he's going to be talking about his education and work experience.
Thanks for coming in today. Did you have any trouble finding us? Please, take a seat.
Thank you.
So, let's get started. Tell me a bit about your educational background.
Sure. Well, I graduated with honors from Chesterton University with a major in business administration, with a specialization in information management, and I minored in psychology. I chose this course of study for 2 reasons. I wanted to gain some practical, marketable skills, which the information management track provided, and I also feel that the interpersonal skills are essential for professional success, hence the minor in psychology.
Interesting. And your postgraduate studies?
Well, I am really passionate about consumer behavior, so I pursued a master's in that area. I also strive to keep my professional skills current, so I continuously attend seminars and conferences related to management and customer service.
Very good. Now, tell me a little bit about your work experience. I see here that you previously worked at Oracle.
Yeah, I worked as their customer support manager, which brought me a breadth of experience in both client care and process management. I supervised and coordinated the customer support team as well as implemented new strategies to achieve better customer satisfaction.
Interesting.
Yes, in this position, I was able to make some pretty significant contributions to the overall success of the company. With the different initiatives that we implemented, we lowered our churn rate to about 5%, which had a direct impact on revenue.
Well, those are some pretty good answers to those questions, but I don't know, Marco.
There was a little awkward moment. I don't know if you guys heard it. Natural body... What's it called? Functions.
Yeah.
So,
oh, dear.
Well, making the interview a little bit more interesting, right? It doesn't have to be boring.
Exactly. But what is really interesting is some of the language he used to describe his educational background and work experience. So let's look at that now in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, so in Language Takeaway today, we have 7 words that we want to focus on before we give you some tips about doing well on a job interview. So let's take a look at the first word. Course of study.
Course of study.
Course of study.
A course of study.
So what is a course of study exactly?
Basically, it's like a plan of study or a path of study.
Okay, so his course of study was...
Business administration.
Exactly, so that is his course of study. Now let's take a look at our second word. Track.
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 So he said he wanted to gain some practical, marketable skills that the information management track provided.
Exactly.
So what does he mean by this track?
again, basically, if the track of study is like the path of study.
Okay.
So the direction of your study.
Okay, so I guess it would be like, think of a train and the train tracks, right?
Exactly.
Where the train travels. So that's where it's taking you. That's the path that he followed, or you should follow, or you want to follow.
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. Now let's take a look at our third word, and it's a really nice conjunction. Hence.
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 H-E-N-C-E. Hence.
Hence. So it sounds fancy, but
Yes.
what
Really
does it
simple.
mean?
So. Therefore. Yeah.
Right. So you can use it as a conjunction between two ideas. So he said, what would be an example of how you could use hence?
You could say the economy is doing poorly, hence people are losing their jobs.
Okay. Hence, so therefore, in consequence,
Right.
so.
Exactly.
But it just sounds a lot more like professional.
And formal.
Formal.
Yeah.
Okay, so try and use this conjunction hence, right? Instead of saying so, therefore.
Yep.
Use it. Okay, our fourth word.
Pursued.
Pursued.
He pursued a master's.
Okay, so to pursue.
To chase after something.
To chase after. So you can pursue a master's degree like he did.
Yes, you can pursue a promotion.
A dream.
Nice one.
Can you pursue a girl?
Yes, you can.
All right, so pursue to chase.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's look at our next word, strive.
Another great word you can use when talking about your experience. To strive is to try really hard.
To try really hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know we have some examples for strive.
Yeah, let's take a listen.
Example 1. At our company, we are always striving to improve our services. Example 2. He really strived to get a new job and his work paid off.
Okay, great examples of strive, to fight, to try really hard.
Yep.
All right. Okay, now the next word, I didn't really know what it meant, so this is really interesting. Breadth.
Breadth.
So it's kind of like saying bread, but adding a TH at the end.
Yeah.
Breadth.
Breadth of experience.
Okay, so this basically means it's wide.
Exactly. So when you have a great breadth of experience, you have a wide variety of experience.
Okay, so maybe in different fields or in different jobs. So
Yep.
you can have experience like in marketing and in a little bit in finance and a little bit in management.
Yes, a breadth of experience.
All right. All right, and now for the last word, it's actually 3-in-1.
A 3-in-1 deal.
A 3-in-1 deal. That actually they are very related.
Okay.
Right? So when he talked about his work experience, he was saying he supervised and coordinated the customer support team.
Okay, so he watched over, right? And made things work together well.
To coordinate.
Yes.
So these are really great verbs that you can use when you're talking about your job responsibilities.
Yes.
I supervised.
I coordinated.
And he used another really great one that said to implement.
To implement, to make something happen, to put it in place.
Right? So he implemented new strategies.
Implemented new policies.
Okay. To set in action.
Exactly.
All right. So a lot of great vocabulary, a lot of great stuff, and well, you can use it for when you are at a job interview. So let's listen to this dialogue again, and when we come back, we're going to give you some tips so you'll do well in this part of the job interview.
Thanks for coming in today. Did you have any trouble finding us? Please, take a seat.
Thank you.
So, let's get started. Tell me a bit about your educational background.
Sure. Well, I graduated with honors from Chesterton University with a major in business administration, with a specialization in information management, and I minored in psychology. I chose this course of study for two reasons. I wanted to gain some practical, marketable skills, which the information management track provided, and I also feel that the interpersonal skills are essential for professional success, hence the minor in psychology.
Interesting. And your postgraduate studies?
Well, I am really passionate about consumer behavior, so I pursued a master's in that area. I also strive to keep my professional skills current, so I continuously attend seminars and conferences related to management and customer service.
Very good. Now, tell me a little bit about your work experience. I see here that you previously worked at Oracle.
Yeah, I worked as their customer support manager, which brought me a breadth of experience in both client care and process management. I supervised and coordinated the customer support team as well as implemented new strategies to achieve better customer satisfaction.
Interesting.
Yes, in this position, I was able to make some pretty significant contributions to the overall success of the company. With the different initiatives that we implemented, we lowered our churn rate to about 5%, which had a direct impact on revenue.
All right, well, I want to talk about two main things. And the first thing I want to talk about is how you address this question about your educational background. Like, what is the interviewer looking to find out?
Okay, perfect. So when you are talking about your educational background, you shouldn't only talk about your college degree, right?
Yep.
You should also talk about any type of training that you've had.
Yeah, I think it's really important to let the interviewer know that you're continually trying to update your skills and improve your knowledge. So any sort of courses or seminars that you might attend, this is a great chance to highlight those.
And that's what the interview is looking for, right?
Mm-hmm. Also, any trade publications, any magazines that you read related to your job is a great way to sort of highlight your desire to keep learning.
Well, I think that's really important because it's good that you went to a good university, you got this degree and everything, but continuously training yourself, and maybe just by listening to business podcasts or reading specific magazines or stuff like that is demonstrating that you care about what you do and that you are continuously learning, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so those are the main things to talk about in your educational background. Now, when this work experience question pops up, what should you really say?
When you're answering this question, I think there's something really important to keep in mind.
And what's that?
You want to make sure that you're being as specific as possible, right?
Right. So giving examples of what you've done.
Like really specifically what you did, all of the sort of the main achievements you have.
Okay, so like for example, we saw in our dialogue that he talked about specific strategies that he implemented to improve customer support in that company.
Right, and he gave some numbers.
Right, he said, he lowered the churn rate to about 5%.
So it's so important whenever you can attach a number to your success or your achievement, to be able to do that in the interview really demonstrates your achievement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's really important. And another thing when you're talking about previous jobs is make sure you keep it on a positive note. Right? Even if your experience was not very good or you didn't like the company or you had problems, you should avoid talking about that and always keep it on a positive note.
Right. So if the interviewer asks you why you want to join this company, why you're looking to leave your current job, you want to give these positive reasons.
Right. You don't want to say, well, because my boss was a jerk or I didn't like the company anymore. Yeah. You should answer it with something positive like, well, I think I need a change, or this job opportunity is more aligned with what I want to do in the future, etc. Yeah, so positive always on your interviews, and just, again, prepare for these questions that are always going to be there.
Yes.
So, Erica, I know that you've done a lot of interviews, and I understand that you've had a really weird question.
Yes. In an interview, I once got this question. If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be?
Really?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I really was asked that question.
What did you answer?
I think I said that I would want to be a willow tree because they're really beautiful.
Was that the right answer?
I don't know. Like, what are you supposed to answer to that question? I really don't know what the right answer was.
Well, some people, they'll ask you just, I don't know, random questions just to see what your response is. I think also maybe it's just how you deal with the pressure
or with the unexpected questions.
Right. So it's like that is pretty unexpected though. But I guess you handled it pretty well.
Okay. Well, I mean, I got the job, so.
Nice. Yeah. All right.
All right. I want to know from our listeners, if they were a tree, what kind of tree they would be.
Yeah. And also tell us about, your job experience or your educational background. Well, I know, for example, that I've had a lot of different types of jobs. I've even been that person that gets on the bus and charges people the money.
I know. You've had every
Random
job
jobs.
under the sun.
So, but it's great. So tell us, what's the weirdest job you've had? What's the craziest or the best job? Or any experiences?
Yes.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. The history of the education you've had.
Educational background.
With special recognition for receiving very high marks.
With honors.
The main field of study in an undergraduate degree.
Major.
A limited area of study.
Specialization.
To have a secondary area of study in an undergraduate program.
Minor.
The combination of courses taken in a degree program.
Course of study.
Course of study.
Track.
Master's or PhD, education above the bachelor's degree level.
Postgraduate.
For that reason.
Hence.
Try to do something over a longer period of time.
Pursue.
Try hard to do something.
Strive.
A wide range or scope of something.
Breadth.
Important and large enough to have a noticeable effect.
Significant.
Adding or giving something.
Contribution.
University education.
Tertiary education.
Take the chance to do something before others do.
Take initiative.
Make something different in a special way.
Distinguish.
A good quality or feature that someone has.
Attribute.
Examine something in a careful and critical way.
Scrutinize.
Let's try that faster. Take the chance to do something before others do.
Take initiative.
A good quality or feature that someone has.
Attribute.
To have a secondary area of study in an undergraduate program.
Minor.
With special recognition for receiving very high marks.
With honors.
The history of the education you've had.
Educational background.
Try to do something over a longer period of time.
Pursue.
Course of study.
Track.
Master's or PhD, education above the bachelor's degree level.
Postgraduate.
For that reason.
Hence.
University education.
Tertiary education.
Adding or giving something.
Contribution.
The combination of courses taken in a degree program.
Course of study.
The main field of study in an undergraduate degree.
Major.
A limited area of study.
Specialization.
Try hard to do something.
Strive.
Important and large enough to have a noticeable effect.
Significant.
Make something different in a special way.
Distinguish.
Examine something in a careful and critical way.
Scrutinize.
A wide range or scope of something.
Breadth.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Course of study. I chose this course of study because it offers a wide range of work opportunities. Course of study. I want to change my course of study before the next semester starts. Course of study. My sister didn't choose her course of study. My parents decided for her. Pursue. They wanted to pursue their dream of traveling around the world, but it didn't happen. Pursue. My mother wants me to pursue a career in law. Pursue. You should really pursue that master's degree. It would really help your career. Strive. If you want to be successful, you must strive to achieve your goals. Strive. We strive to bring you outstanding customer service. Strive. Our company always strives to make our products better and better. Hence. The project was a complete failure. Hence, the project manager was fired. Hence. The project was postponed for 3 months, hence the delay in delivery. Hence. I never studied for my exams, hence my low marks.